Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Tuesday to everyone that's joining us today. I want to thank you all for taking time out of your busy day to join us today on our very exciting webcast that we're doing today. 3 ways Copilot can revamp your fundraising strategy. To get things started, again, my name is Frank Valdivieso. I am actually the president and CEO of Griffin Consulting, and I'll be joined today by Jason Price. Next slide, please.
Yes, sir.
All right. What I'd like to do is basically start off with a little background about Griffin Consulting. I promise I won't kill you today with PowerPoints about what we do, but I just got a couple slides here to kind of share who we are and what we do. Next slide, please. Griffin Consulting, we're an IT services company. We focus primarily on supporting nonprofits like you. Our superpower really is helping organizations like yours navigate, if you will, the very complex ecosystem in terms of technology. And also one of our superpowers is really leveraging Microsoft technologies to really help you get the most out of your organization, improve the effectiveness and efficiency of the organization. Some of the nonprofits that we've worked with, I'll show you here in the next slide. And I know some of you are in the call today. I want to thank you all for being here today. Obviously, those of you that are already clients, we're ecstatic that you're joining us today. But these are just some of the clients that we've serviced and have helped leverage technology to improve the effectiveness and efficiency of their organization. Couple of things I want to share with you before I turn it over to Jason is kind of what I call my notes from the field. So see, these are some of the things that, we're kind of observing. And I just want to bring back to you in terms of how we're seeing AI being leveraged, if you will, across the board. Here's a stat that basically, this first one, basically saying that, generative AI has the potential to improve productivity by reducing the time staff spend on certain activities by 60 to 70%. I can tell you for me personally, I know where I'm seeing the biggest benefit and where I probably use this every day, again, being a technology company, is a lot of research, helping us cut down on the amount of time it takes us to do research. And also with my technicians, what they're telling me is leveraging AI to help them in troubleshooting issues as well. So that's been a big boon for us as well. And then the second one, definitely productivity gains and communication. Again, I'll just go give my personal story. Again, I hate to write. And so it's been an amazing tool for me for getting out memos, especially also converting my mind maps, if you will, into really beautiful PowerPoint presentations. So I've definitely been using Copilot to help me do that. And it's been an amazing productivity boost. And then last but not least, the other area, obviously, that we're seeing nonprofits really leveraging AI to really revolutionize their operations is definitely around the areas of marketing and fundraising. And Jason's going to get into kind of a deep dive specifically around fundraising and grant writing. And he's going to show you some examples today of specifically how Copilot can really help in those areas. Next slide, please. Couple of other things that I just wanted to bring to your attention in terms of trends that we're seeing reported, and also how we're seeing this actually manifest itself with the nonprofits that we're serving. So, for example, the first one here talking about how nonprofits are finding it difficult more than ever to fill positions. 65% of nonprofits are having more difficulty in filling positions. Well, with the advent of obviously cloud-based technologies, we're seeing organizations being the leverage and tap into markets all over the place, right? No matter where the resources are available, specifically taking advantage of things such as Microsoft 365 to basically be able to add resources to the organization that aren't co-located geographically with their organization. So that's definitely one that we're seeing. The second stat here that we're seeing, and this obviously we saw as a result of as a result of COVID, is lots of organizations moving towards a hybrid work model. That is, individuals working on site and off site. Again, where we're seeing a huge deployment, an increase in deploying technologies such as Teams that we're leveraging here today. Also, Intune and Autopilot to manage their devices remotely, and also protecting and securing their data in their environment. So we're really seeing nonprofits leverage these technologies to really facilitate hybrid work. And then this last bullet, obviously goes without saying, we're seeing nonprofits investing in tech. But the other piece of this that we're seeing is not just investing in tech, it's maximizing the investment in the tech that they've already purchased. So, for example, perfect example of this is you're probably all aware that Microsoft, as part of their tech grant program, they provide you 10 copies of Business Premium. Well, that Business Premium license not only provides you with your email capabilities and also with your ability to run the full Office suite, but it does come with the ability to run and activate Intune for device management, Autopilot, and then some other really unique features in terms of advanced security features. So leveraging the technology that you already have is also something that we're helping organizations with. Another huge area that we're seeing nonprofits really save lots of money that they can then redirect back into the mission of the organization is deployment of Teams phones. We've seen a significant increase in nonprofits saving significant amounts of money in deploying a Teams phone infrastructure. And again, thereby basically implementing one unified communication platform. So they're using Teams as not only their webinar and online meeting platform, but also for their voice platform as well. So again, this is an area we'd be happy if you're interested. Basically, just send us an email. We'll provide contact information at the end. We'll do a free assessment to basically ensure that not only are you maximizing the technologies that you've already invested in, but looking at some of your current spend to see if we can't help you reduce what you're spending on technology and maximizing what you already have access to. So those are kind of my notes from the field today. I want to say thank you to everyone that's joined us here today. And without further delay, it brings me great pleasure to really call up to the stage Jason Price, a real ally and friend of Griffin Consulting. We've been working together several years. The great thing about Jason is not only is he a great technologist, but he's got a steep background in supporting nonprofits. So without further delay, I'd like to bring Jason Price onto the stage. Jason, it's all yours.
Yeah, appreciate it. And thanks for everybody joining. I've been in the seat where I've written grants, secured NEA funding and the like. And boy, do I wish Copilot was there to help me back then, because what I've seen it do since, and what I'm going to show you how it can work, is it's kind of mind-blowing. So I wanted to take a step back first and ask everybody how often, or how familiar you might be with AI. So I'm launching the little poll you'll see inside of our room here. It's multiple choice. Feel free to just kind of answer that and then click the submit button. It'll give us a sense of where everybody stands. And I wanted to give some quick background about Copilot. What the heck is it? It's essentially an assistant, an AI-powered assistant that uses natural language to provide you with access to some really powerful large language models. It uses a customized version of ChatGPT 4.0. I think you know that Microsoft has been a major investor inside OpenAI, and so the two of those companies work together closely and are developing some of the latest models. So ChatGPT 4.0 for text, DALL-E 3 for images. These kind of things are right there on the cusp, on the front edge of AI development. And Microsoft is doing all of this, ensuring that it will protect your business data, which is what it uses, Copilot uses to provide you with valid answers to your questions, with information that comes up out of your documents, uh, uh, notes that you have shared, emails that you've sent. It uses everything that's inside of what they call the Microsoft Graph, which is essentially everything inside your account. And it leverages that in the information that it goes off and seeks. So when you put in a prompt, Copilot goes and it checks into grounding your prompt, understanding what you really want from it by looking at your business data. And then it runs off to the LLM, as it is, and gets generative new content from that, brings it back, runs it back through the graph one more time to make sure that you're only accessing the information you should get to, and then that's where it serves it up to you. But it's not just the information inside your account. It also works with the internet. It's providing current information with really no cutoff, whatever happens to be out there on the web, all powered by the Bing search index. So that entire search engine that's out there, maps, everything like that, it pulls all of that information together. It does not train the large language model or the Bing search index with what you're sending it. It is simply modifying that prompt. Then it's taking information in from the internet and then serving it back to you. So wherever it gets those answers, it's actually citing the specific data source that provided that answer. So you'll get links to the specific page that it served that up from. And best of all, it's surfacing all of this information inside the Microsoft 365 apps that you already know and love. So you'll see when you enable it, you'll see new buttons in there. Copilot has its own little pane on the right-hand side, text fields. It kind of makes it very easy for you to get to. So that's everything that it's doing. But how can you use it? How can we in this field make it work best for us? It can do a lot of kind of very basic, somewhat mundane tasks and help free time up. How much did it take? How long would it take to read a 20-page request for a proposal? Well, clock it out. Copilot is able to kind of summarize and condense that down and give it back to you in 5 bullets. So you can say, oh yeah, this is definitely something that we can apply for, or no, we can't. It's great at drafting content, creating all types of documents or emails or pages, document that you can copy and paste into something, even actual documents, dropping it into Word, or a content that you can immediately share with your teams and the others that you work with. Generating images. I mentioned that it uses DALL-E 3, so you can, instead of like going and buying stock imagery, you can ask it to, hey, create an image of people working at a table, putting together a box of canned goods, and it will pop it up for you. It helps you learn new skills so that you can ask it to help you do, how do I do this, Copilot? And it will give you the exact answer or point you to the specific resource that has that information. This is great for gearing up your volunteers as well on exactly how you do things and giving them context for how they do their work with you. And then what's coming now is Microsoft is beginning to issue different capabilities for automation. So when something happens, you can trigger a workflow that then the agent or the action will actually perform that for you and inform you when it's all done with it. This is the stuff that's coming right now that Microsoft is releasing here in the latter half of its fiscal year, and we're just waiting. I'm biting my freaking nails off to get to this stuff. And these are just common use cases for individual productivity that we've seen. And there's far more, but we're going to get very deep into this key scenarios that you probably spend your time with. Fundraising, how can it help you? So we're going to look at 3 aspects of fundraising. We're going to look at a bunch of donor data inside a database, And we're going to use Copilot to analyze it, to optimize our strategy and build some campaign outreach materials based on the information we find in that donation spreadsheet. And then we're going to turn and pivot over to grant writing. So finding ideal funders and drafting letters of outreach and grant proposals for them. We're going to basically take what's all this content and we're going to even create a PowerPoint presentation all within the next 45 minutes. And then we're going to look at how Copilot can get into really advanced reporting and generate rich information, charts, and graphs that for your donors or for your boards so that you can be more powerful with this. Before I go there, let's take a look at our poll over here. So it looks like there's a couple people that are using it often. Okay, great. You're probably using it to generate content and the like. Maybe you're, I'll be interested to know how exactly you are. By the way, feel free to ask us questions inside the Q&A pane or inside the chat pane, and we'll make sure to answer those for you. A lot of you using it often. Second most common, used it once or twice. And a couple using it daily. That's pretty cool. Okay, great. So now let's see how it can be done in action. I'm going to demonstrate for you each of these three cases. We're going to start with analysis and strategy. Analyzing this donor data, gaining insights, and applying predictive analysis for increased donations. Everything you kind of see here, crafting donor experiences so we can get the maximum output out of the people that love us, and creating a targeted campaign, designing a donor campaign email sequence. We're actually going to do that. Yep, it's going to be that fast. So I'm going to move over here to a sample tenant. And I'm going to kind of grab some prompts so that we could speed this up for you. I thought that I would grab some prompts and actually drop them in. You're looking at the Copilot business interface. We're going to come back to this in just a second. And we're also working with two spreadsheets. Here's the first one. This is the export of all of our donations out into a list. And it's a long one. It goes down a couple rows. Okay, so like 90 some odd rows. Let's pretend I'm with a really small nonprofit that only had 90 some odd donations over the course of the year. So how do I get started? Well, Copilot, as you can see, looking across the top here, Copilot is actually a button right inside of the ribbon in my account. And as I turn it on, it opens up the Copilot pane on the right-hand side and suggesting prompts that I can enter here, add in a formula, or create a set of charts. Oh, that's stealing my thunder for later. I'm going to do that later. Write a formula that creates new columns. Okay, that's fine. But what I want to know is, hey, who gave us the most money? So I'm going to put into here which three donors have given the highest amounts and let Copilot go find it inside of this data. So it reviews everything that's inside of this spreadsheet, provided that it is loaded up into SharePoint or OneDrive, and then it comes back with the answer. Hey, I analyzed the data in this. Let me scroll back up. And here's what I found. Here's your top three. 196,000 all told between the three of them. Oh, add this to a new sheet. So you can click this button and it will drop that pivot table right into a brand new sheet where I can work from it if I need to. And it lets me know in a text response, hey, here's the top three donors who gave it to us. And it added that in. Great. To keep analyzing with more prompts, go back to the source table. I'll click go back to data. There I am. What else do I want to know? Well, hey, which campaigns worked the best for us? So let's enter in which campaigns generated the greatest sum of donations and let Copilot figure it out. So it'll analyze all of this, look at everything. It's not even just giving me the answer. It's offering me a pivot chart, a bar chart with the source campaign information for it. Well, that's kind of neat. I hope it can finish up relatively soon. And there's, of course, you should notice AI generated content may be incorrect. It's working off this data, so it's always good to double check and validate. Trust but verify the information that it gives back to us. Looks like it's still finishing. All right. Let's stop that. Let's add this to a brand new sheet. Click it. Boom. New sheet. There's the pivot table. There's the pivot chart. All right, great. Hey, I can start dropping this into my presentation back to my board so they can see how effective I am. Let's keep moving. Let's get another good bit of information here from our spreadsheet. We'll go back to the source data and let's drop in here. Which times of year yield the highest donations? So essentially looking at everything, taking what is that donation date and kind of plotting it across the course of the year and giving me an output. There we go. Times of year that yield the highest donations, November and December. Go figure, the time of giving, right? Okay, good, good, good. New sheet. Let's see what we got. Yeah. November, December, September, June, March. Hey, there's something going on in March. Wonder what that could be. We can even ask it. What type of campaign activity was happening in March? This is great. Okay, go back to data because I want to ask it one more question. Who is giving the specific donations? And I'm going to look now at age range. Which of them generated the highest count so that our campaigns that are going out, who actually is responding back to them? Even if they're giving 5, 10, 20 bucks, that's the important thing. I want to know that what's responding. And we can see here now, okay, so a third of all of our donations for this year came from the age range 40 to 49. Okay, so now we're getting a sense of exactly who's doing it. They're kind of late in the year, 40 to 49-year-olds. So what does that mean? Now it means I can tailor my next campaign to fit exactly that output. So let's go grab a prompt and let's go over to what I mentioned, which is business chat. Now, this is not like the other components of the applications we saw. It's not a button that opens up a pane in Excel or Word or Outlook or anything. It's its own interface. And you'll notice it looks a lot like the ChatGPT interfaces or other interfaces you've seen in that it's Copilot. Here's some sample prompts that it's giving us. Share meeting notes, prep for a meeting, understand main points of a file. There's that kind of summarization use case. Catch up on a meeting you missed because we're always double booked, and stay informed on what's happening with a particular person. Help me get ready for the board meeting this afternoon. Okay, great. Those are great suggestions. And you'll also notice up at the top, there's a toggle between work and web. So what is the difference? Well, web is essentially going to go out to that Bing search index on the internet. It's going to pull information externally and feed it back into what we have here and respond to the prompt. Whereas work, this toggle, is what's going to bring information from our work data, our Microsoft graph, everything in our account, and then serve that back up to us. And it's going to include, is on top of that, the web information as well. What am I talking about? Well, let's see. Let's put a prompt in here. Message Copilot down here in the bottom. I'm going to paste this in, and I'm going to modify this. I want to develop a marketing campaign to specifically target the donors giving us the most, 40 to 49, with interests. No, not spring data. Let's go with the holiday drive. Holiday drive or events. Highlight the societal benefits of our program. Okay, full disclosure, I found out a couple days ago that there actually is Rebuild LA actually does exist. It's an offshoot of Habitat for Humanity. But I'd already created these demos to kind of run with this. So give me a grain of salt right here. That's going to reconstruct homes for fire-affected residents. Okay, so we're tugging on their heartstrings with this, the societal benefits. So top line, because folks of that age range are familiar with what's going on in society. Let's see what then this can give us. So essentially, like I said, Copilot's going to go off, pull information from what's inside the documentation, and then it's going to serve this up. Oh, and you know what? There's the exact document that it's referencing, this benefit statement for Rebuild LA that exists inside my OneDrive, and one click will take me to it. And there it is. There's everything that we have about this. So it's using that to create brand new content up here above. Sounds like a great initiative. Here we go. Target audience, interest in the holiday drive, key messages. Here's societal benefits, housing support. That's referencing all from that document, financial assistance, stability, and then it's suggesting different channels that we can push our messaging through: email campaign, social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, events in personal or otherwise, promotional materials, build some flyers and brochures about it, which I haven't done in this account, but that's great. Oh, short videos that showcase the families who've been helped by us. Yes, big time. Partnerships. Ooh, okay, so this is interesting. It's identifying a different channel now. Local businesses, co-host events, matching donation programs. Now we're talking increase visibility, get some influencers local that can help spread the word, and then some follow-up. Oh yeah, our thank you notes. Of course, we can create personalized thank you notes to donors, impact reports. Yeah, we're going to build all of that. That's good suggestions. You know what? I think we're going to take them up on this, and we're going to let's build an email campaign, shall we? So let's using this strategy. Look at it, it's even suggesting down here. Can you help draft an email template for this campaign? Can you provide examples of successful social media posts? How can we measure the impact of this? Yeah, give me some examples of successful social media posts. What could we do here? And it's finding some from our company. Navigating communication, a Copilot training webinar, a prep session, and it's finding stuff out here from the web. Here's one it found from Yoast. Hashtags, Cheesecake Factory. Not quite. Pictochart, Meltwater. Okay, so let's get specific now. Using the strategy, let's draft an email sequence, 3 messages highlighting the benefits of our programming to donors with interest in the, let's go holiday drive. Holiday drive, because that's what it told me. That's what I want to show. Use engaging and relevant information that resonates with the target audience. Let's see what you can do. And we get a draft of an email sequence, 3 emails. Now we could have done this over in Word as well. So it's basically giving us content back in different locations. I wanted to keep it here because this is building on the information that's already gone out and found that's part of this this chat thread. It's like I'm having a dialogue with it, and it's using the context of these older prompts to say, hey, this is probably what it's zeroing in on, rather than going out and being broad in its requests again. So let's see, email, introduction and impact. Join us in Rebuilding LA. Your support makes a difference. You showed interest in our holiday drive, so we want to share another opportunity with you. So it looks like a little bit light on that in some cases, but here's one. Meet the Johnson family who lost their home. Thanks to them, they now have a safe place to call home and support to rebuild our lives. Include a photo. Good call. Email 3. Join us for a special event. We got a holiday drive coming up. Date, event, time, and location. So this is good. This is so good that I think I want to share it with the rest of my team for their input. Right? We're going to design this donor email campaign sequence. So I'm going to click this button. Edit in Pages. Have any of you ever used Microsoft Loop? Microsoft Loop is already built into your license, whether it be Business Premium or one of the higher degrees. And it basically is a application that gives you dynamic canvases from which you can share, co-author, and edit materials all together. So here's the draft that I have here. So now I can kind of modify it in here, edit it up. Let's see. We don't want the Johnson family. We want to pull from the Valdiviso family. Valdiviso. Cool. And we'll include that there. So like it can edit and build this out, and it saves this away. It stores it as a page inside the Microsoft account, also readable by Copilot later. And then this page, now I can share this. So I can copy this page and share it with my team and have them co-author and edit this with me. Look at that. I hand this over to my marketing team. I'm done, 15 minutes. That's the power of this, kind of drafting this content together. Now, obviously, this is light, but you can see where you can now get this content back to you, and you can edit and build on it so that it Copilot, as it assists you, is doing the legwork. Like, 75% of the job. It drafts things for you. You can tell it, hey, that was great, or no, that isn't. Retry it. Do it again. And it will come back and give you different content, and you can put the polish on it. The human is always the pilot to Copilot, running how things go and making it relevant and emotional and giving it the right type of content that only you and your expertise can do. That's our first challenge. Let's see. Do we have anything in chat? Sure, Jason. That is nice how that does that. Okay, cool. Let's go to our second case study, shall we? Grant writing. All right. Usually the challenge is finding the right funders. We could go off to, I forget the database that we can pay our subscription for, and it can surface up to us funders that match our intent and their geographic areas and all of that. We're going to use Copilot for it. Then from that, we're going to draft a letter of intent, a proposal, and we'll talk to how to automate data aggregation to make our proposals that much more powerful. So let's go back over to this is back over to business chat. Now we've been working inside the work. I want to reach out, researching ideal funders, and I'm going to go to the web for this initially. So I'm going to grab a prompt here again, just to kind of help speed up our process. And I'm going to ask Copilot to help me search for nonprofit foundations that have funding interests in our areas of programming, housing, revitalization, sustainability, trying to find the ideal matches to fund us and tell it, go. See what you can get. Once again, it's going through the Bing search index. God, it's really fast. Look at this. The Rockefeller Foundation. Energy efficient upgrades for affordable housing. Yes. Wells Fargo. Good. Corporate. Yeah. JPB Foundation. Not familiar with that one. The Affordable Housing and Sustainable Communities Program based in California. Low carbon transportation, affordable housing. Yes. Foundation list. This is good stuff. Now it's citing, as we can see here, kind of three different sources. The Rockefeller Foundation website, HCD, that's this, number two, that's this Affordable Housing and Sustainable Communities Program, government-based, the foundationlist.org. What else do we have? Kind of search results. We can go actually pull Bing search directly. This is pretty good. I'm going to tell Copilot I like that. You did good. Thanks for, go ahead, share my prompt on the response. That's the kind of thing I want to see. I can also tell it when it's way off the mark. Downvote, thumbs down. In this case, it's done pretty good. So let's go see. Let's start the first one, shall we? The Rockefeller Foundation. Okay, this is a press release published December of 2022. Okay, so this is essentially something that kind of provides information about this. And I could go down it. There's a lot to read here. Who could help me with that? That's right. So Copilot is embedded into Edge. So you can use it. You might even have tried using Copilot Chat for web only. We can also utilize it to pull stuff here for work. So you know what? Let's have it summarize this page. Go and tell me what's going on here. A couple bullets. Focus areas. That's what I want. Energy saving home retrofit strategies for communities, left out of climate investments, target communities. Yes. Okay. And I can say, oh, this is perfect. Now we can get right into this. In fact, since they have these same target communities and benefits, let's copy this and let's bring it over to a Word document. We're going to kind of stash things away in here and create a brand new Word doc. Now I'm opening Word. I could use that Copilot button to open the pane on the right, but look at this. It's already offering me draft an email about something, write an article based on a file, produce insights, or just give me a brand new prompt to add into here. So first I'm going to kind of drop what it gave me. This is the important thing. Focus areas. Need more details. Oh, you know what? I need one more detail. I need to know how the heck do we apply? Let's let's see. Let's put in a specific thing in here. Let's ask it. How do we request funding? And see what it says. Contact the program administrators. Prepare your proposal, necessary documentation, submit it, follow up. Okay, great. Well, how do we get that? What's the contact information? Contact information for the program administrators. And here it is. Great. Copy. Bring it back to Word. Paste it. Okay, so we've got it. Oh, good. Now we can start building out our case, drafting a letter of intent. Let's do exactly that here into this Word document. I'm going to save it while I got a moment to my desktop. And this is the ACEEE funding. Real quick. Okay, great. Now I'm going to come back up here. I'm going to click on my Copilot button, open the pane on the right, and it's giving me a couple prompts, but you know what? I'm really specific. I know exactly what I want from it, so I'm going to paste that in here. Write a well-crafted letter of intent for introducing Rebuild to, is this Rockefeller? No, this is, it is Rockefeller, but it's all that, let's do it strictly to this group, whose focus areas include, look at this, all this stuff. Stop. Are described below, which is described in here. Focus areas are okay. Sorry, it gets every time I run this, it's different. Okay. And let's see what it can do. You see, it's already kind of giving me these prompts for like rewriting and such like that, but let me get out of it. Okay. Nice. So what has it done? Yeah, here you go. Here's me. Here's Mark Rothfler. Express our intent for this. Rebuild's dedicated to revitalizing neighborhoods in LA. So it's telling a little bit about us. Citing what? That's citing this document that I brought in. Proven track record. What's it citing for that? This document. Good. Buttons, bullets here. Kate, looking forward to parting with you. Thank you. God, that looks great, doesn't it? I mean, obviously, would you like any adjustments? We could go back to Copilot, tell it, hey, work a little different on this. But I'm going to insert this right in. And I'm going to then edit and modify and do all that fun stuff. There you go. I think it inserted exactly where I had my cursor. So we're off and running. We now have, here, let me see if I can undo that. Yeah, let's put it up here at the top. Let's insert it right there. Beautifully. I love it. So now that we have this, let's say we submit this in and our worst dreams come true. They actually say yes, and they want a presentation about our proposal back to them. Okay, great. We can do that. Brand new blank presentation here in PowerPoint. Let's create a presentation. Let's have Copilot help me with it. Let's reference a particular file. Well, guess what? The file we just did is which one? What's it called? What's our Word doc called? It's called the ACEEE funding. ACEEE. It hasn't indexed it yet. So obviously it takes a couple seconds for this to happen, but what's going to happen, we'll come back to this in just a little bit to show that it's capable of drafting that. This is the thing I love, that it kind of converts this from one format to another. So we'll give it a couple minutes to index. Meantime, I want to talk to this last point here. Automating data aggregation to accelerate proposal creation or accelerate any other motion. So this is what I mentioned. Microsoft is in the process now of releasing automation ability to streamline workflows, to essentially power productivity at the individual level, but you can see how it might also power it at the department level. How is it doing this? Well, there's one feature that like I said, I chewed off my fingernails on this one. This is Copilot Actions. Everyone with a Copilot license will get this. It will, in essence, give you a particular action with a trigger, and you can give it to different context for it to perform this function. I wish I could show it to you today. I can't. The only thing I can do is drop in chat the link to the blog article about these actions. It'll be here before you know it. And then the real fun will begin. Because now you can start farming out your more mundane tasks and have every time an email comes in about employee benefits to your HR team, it can reply back out with a link to resources. Or it can inform you that you should really go and look at this particular email that came in from one of your employees and identify the right resource and have Copilot grab the information, plop it into your email, and send it. That's the stuff we're waiting for. It's coming and it's fun. So now we get to the point of, okay, we won. Our proposal was accepted. The Rockefeller's funding us in conglomeration with its other partners. And now we come down to reporting. So we want to track our deadlines, renewals, and reporting milestones throughout the life cycle. I wish I could also show you this today, but Planner essentially has a Copilot function. Now it requires a Project Plan 3 or Project Plan 5 license, but then just like we saw in the other applications, that Copilot has a pane that appears and it suggests prompts to you. Add a task. Make sure we follow up on our renewal, that we send our reporting in. Set goals with your task. Another suggested prompt that comes all the time, get a status report and provide that out to everybody. And then Copilot will also give you like a set of prompts at the bottom of that pane, like you see here, that'll connect over to the prompt gallery, the Copilot prompt gallery, which are, you can find additional prompts in there, or you can save the ones that worked really well for your team. So if your program manager creates a really good report at the end of their week, You can have them create capture that prompt and save it away so others can replicate it. Or, of course, you can come down here to the Ask Me Anything compose box. You could type in your own custom prompt. But we're going to go back over, since I can't show you that in Planner, I'm kind of teasing you, I'm sorry. But I am going to go back to Excel because I want to show you the really powerful tools that allow you to visualize data analysis and create different versions of the reports based on your audience. So let's go back to Excel. This was our donation database. I'm going to go over here to our program database. Here's all the folks we helped and everything that we did. Copilot, open on up because I've got some more prompts for you. All right. So the first one, now you notice this was kind of giving us some suggestions to start. Show data insights. What can Copilot already see inside of here? Yeah, go ahead. Give me a data insight. Go ahead, Copilot. What do you have? What can you pull out for me? I'd be interested to know. So it looks at everything, all the rows and columns, comes back, and it's going to say, I found this interesting fact about your program data. Family members by program. Housing support, 156 family members. Community stability, 121. Add to a new sheet. There's the pivot table. There's the pivot chart. Yeah, look at that. So all 5 of our programs are broken out by who we helped last year. Hey, that's not too shabby, is it? You know what? I want some more insights. Go back to the data. Can I see another insight? Sure, Copilot. Frequency of family members. Okay, great. Give me another one. Clark family members increased over time. Looks like we needed to help them. Olivia family members increased over time. Good. Martinez has higher family members. That's the audience we're serving. Wilson, I mean, look at this. So now I'm like, this is great. I want to see some really rich reporting come from it. And so getting deeper analysis results using Python. You do not need to code this. It's going to do it for you. It will do advanced analysis using this Python code in the back end to create a new sheet, automatically write and insert formulas, and answer. Are you ready to get started? I am. So we start this advanced data analysis. It did exactly what it said, creates a new sheet, and it starts reading information out. And it says, I'm essentially using this information here to preview exactly like what I'm pulling from. And then what is it? What do we want to know? Oh, this is good. Summarizing investments by program. Analyzing the distribution of family members. Let's look at the total investment by program. And give me a breakdown here. Help me understand this a little bit more. And so it populates that information out. And then I'm like, yeah, do we have any other trends? Program initiation dates? It's giving those suggestions to me based on the data that it has in there. Look at that. That's our chart for exactly how it all broke out. Now, it's not gorgeous, but now I can work off of that. Yeah, add results to a new sheet. Hey, yeah, suggest more ideas. What else can you do from this? Summarize the total investment. I think it's all in California. Yeah, analyze the distribution of family members across different programs. I'm just pulling the suggested prompts that it's giving me. Look at that box plot of family member distribution across programs. Let me zoom in on this. Yes, there you go. There it goes. So it's showing me exactly how it kind of breaks down across the programs. So it'll give you these kind of box charts so that you can create now this rich reporting information And depending on exactly what type of data you want to provide, if it's to your board, hey, do you want information about our volunteers? Do you want information about our staff? Let's keep that internal. For donors, figuring out where that information lives. So basically, it's taking all of that complex calculations, all the analysis, and Copilot is doing it. It's integrating that Python code to interpret data points into math operations, real-time lookups, and then essentially those great rich reports. And it can do this not just with Excel, it can do this with Power BI. So if any of your teams are actually utilizing it, Copilot and Microsoft Fabric is another license. It's available for paid Fabric licenses, not available for trial SKUs, but you can get it in there. And then you can start using stuff in Teams. Yeah, so let me see. Let me come over here. This is gonna look really weird, kind of metadata here, but essentially, this is our meeting window, and Copilot is a button right here inside of the meeting. So I can pull it up and I can ask it anything. Here, let's see what these prompts are. Here's the suggested prompts right now. Gee, what's gone on in this meeting so far? Recap it for me. Do me a favor. I came late to the training. What did I miss? Introduction by Frank, AI and productivity, analyzing donor data, trends in nonprofit tech, intro to Copilot, developing marketing campaigns, grant writing assistance, advanced reporting and data visualization, upcoming features. Yeah, that's pretty good. You know what? I want to look really intelligent. Asking a really smart question. Yes, why don't you suggest some questions for me to ask of that great facilitator guy over there? Hey, what specific features have been most effective? How can we ensure the accuracy and reliability? What are key steps to ensuring nonprofits are fully utilizing their licenses? Are you using every application in there? How can we identify and implement cost-saving measures using this tech? That's pretty good. I'll tell you my favorite use case for this stuff inside of Teams is when I have a meeting and I want to devote my time. Say I get a meeting with the Rockefellers. I don't want to be sitting here typing my notes while I'm going. I want it to give me all that so I can spend all my time focused on my funder and letting Copilot give me everything that happened. Here's all the topics that were discussed. Here's all the decision points that were made that I can follow up on. And then at the very bottom, here are the action items that need to be followed on and who it's exactly assigned to. So I don't have to do any. After the meeting's done, I'll pull all of this, I'll drop it into an email, I'll send it to my funder. And they'll be like, yeah, that guy paid attention. I mean, obviously, AI is out there a lot and people are using it for great value. But this is where nonprofits and companies alike in the commercial world are finding a lot of value, saving up to 8 hours a week, depending on whether you're double or triple booked. But essentially, this intelligent recap powered by Copilot. It's built in. You don't have to do anything. It essentially records meetings, gives a video timeline markers, it transcribes the meeting, and can expand on that. You can ask it all types of questions. It's on demand. You go to it when you want to. Conversational UI available during and after the meeting, all included. No extra cost to your, it's all inside that Copilot license. What is that Copilot license? So you can see that in Copilot that's free, that's already out there inside of Edge, or if you just go to copilot.microsoft.com and you start using it, you get the foundational capabilities grounded in web results, and you get commercial data protection. I don't think I showed that to you. Notice this button, enterprise data protection applies to this chat. Microsoft is not sharing my information with the LLM. It's not training it on it. It's basically just grabbing the information and pulling it back through. And the arrangement is your data stays inside your enterprise boundary. It doesn't go anywhere. That's the promise that Microsoft has for Copilot. If you get the paid license, you get all of this plus grounding in your graph, your actual company data, the interface inside all of the Microsoft 365 applications, and you get Copilot Studio. We haven't even touched on that, but that allows you to create custom copilots, custom bots that can answer questions that are always coming in from volunteers to your volunteer coordinators or employees into your HR team. You can assign, connect these to your wikis and your help databases and your basic pages of information and have it do that work for you. The only question then is, how do you kind of get your team up on these different skills and aptitudes that are required? So a lot of folks like you have used it or tried AI tools, helping employees to get theirs a little bit more effort, but everything is going to start with kind of what's wrapped in there. So Microsoft gives you the promise of everything's wrapped by security. It meets your compliance standards. It maintains data privately. It's not shared outside the account. And all policies of responsible AI, fairness, reliability, safety, privacy, inclusiveness, transparency, everything that Microsoft uses as their principles for developing this. What does it look like if we do our job right? I know we're coming up against the top of the hour. I just wanted to quickly tell you, I worked on an implementation for 255 employees. They essentially used and generated $60,000 worth of assisted value in 6 weeks. That's $10,000 a week. It essentially 3 more iterations of that paid for the entire license for this company. And what made a difference at the same time that they were using and launching Copilot, they also started an initiative to reduce the number of meetings they were in because they're double and triple packed. And the technology supported that. They were able to reduce their meeting hours per month by almost a third, and they maintained 70% active users when they were done. So that's how you essentially make the most of it. How do you get started with it? You talk to me, Frank, and Luis, and we can conduct a Copilot assessment that essentially will help you. The 30-minute meeting inside of Teams will help assess your technical readiness, your computing environment, your desktop applications, make sure that any gaps are identified that would negatively affect your user experience, and optimize everything. We'll send you a report. Actually, Microsoft will send you a report with all your scores, and then we can talk about how to plan your Copilot implementation. I don't know, Luis, if you want to pile on this so we can focus on like maximize savings and expert support and secure integration, anything along that line you wanted to talk to.
Yep. Jason, thank you so much. Amazing presentation and content.
Thank you.
I hope all of you enjoyed today's content. And as Jason mentioned, again, we'd love to, if you're thinking about getting started or if you're started already implementing Copilot, we'd love to come in, provide your free assessment. And then the other piece of this also, what we've been working with a lot of our clients on is ensuring that they're maximizing the investments that they've already made, and then leveraging and maximizing the amazing technology grant that Microsoft offers to nonprofits. And with that, I'll say thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining us. And until the next time.